Welcome back to our channel Numismatics Coins History. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of a coin that might just be sitting in your change jar right now, the 1960 United States penny. This little cent holds more value and history than most people realize. And if you're lucky enough to have one, you could be holding a piece of American history worth potentially millions of dollars. Stay tuned as we break down everything you need to know about the 1960 cent, including its historical significance, rarity, and what makes it so special that it could be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or new to the world of numismatics, this video will give you the ultimate guide to this remarkable coin. Let's take a trip back to 1960, a pivotal year in American history. The United States was in the midst of the Cold War, and political tensions were rising. But on the domestic front, American currency was going through some important changes. In 1960, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins for circulation, including the familiar Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner, had been in circulation since 1909, and in 1959, it celebrated its 50th anniversary. That's when a notable change took place. The coin was redesigned to feature a new reverse design, honoring the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1960 cent, struck at the Denver Mint, was one of the first coins to feature this new reverse. So, what exactly makes the 1960 penny so special? Well, unlike most other coins from the era, the 1960 cent was struck with a distinct, rare variation. The key to its value lies in a very unique production error that happened at the Denver Mint in 1960. Some 1960 cents were struck with what's known as a double die error. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the coin to show multiple impressions of the same design. In the case of the 1960 cent, this error is most noticeable on the obverse, where Abraham Lincoln's image is repeated in a faint, blurry double strike. Now, let's talk about the value. In terms of rarity, the 1960 double die variety is a true treasure. It is estimated that only a few thousand of these coins were ever produced with the error, making them incredibly rare. In fact, only a small percentage of the coins minted in 1960 actually exhibit the double die phenomenon. That rarity is one of the key factors that drives its value. In recent years, the value of the 1960 double die penny has skyrocketed. While an average, non-error 1960 cent might only be worth around 1 cent, those with the double die error can fetch far more substantial sums. In the right condition, a 1960 double die penny can be worth anywhere from several $100s to thousands. But here's where it gets interesting. The rarest specimens of the 1960 double die error have sold for millions of dollars at auction. In 2022, a pristine 1960 double die cent, graded by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, at a high MS65, was sold for over $65 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny, a single penny from 1960, sold for over $65 million. That's a life-changing amount of money for something so small, isn't it? Now that you know about the potential value, let's discuss how to identify if your 1960 penny is the double die variety. It's not as simple as just looking for the D mint mark, though that is important to confirm the coin's origin. The key characteristic to look for is the doubling effect on the obverse. Focus on Abraham Lincoln's portrait, particularly his cheek, nose, and the date 1960. You should notice a faint double image that indicates a misaligned die. Keep in mind, the double die effect is subtle. It's not like a dramatic ghosting effect, but more of a slight shadow that creates the illusion of a second image. The more obvious the doubling, the higher the value. So, grab your magnifying glass and take a closer look. Before you rush to check your change jar, let's talk about the market for rare coins. Collecting is an exciting and dynamic hobby, but it's also a competitive one. While the 1960 double die penny is highly sought after by collectors and investors, you must be aware that the coin market can fluctuate. Professional graders play a huge role in determining the value of a coin. Having your coin authenticated and graded by a reputable service like NGC or PCGS is essential. A coin's grade, based on its condition, has a huge impact on its value. Coins with higher grades, like MS65 or better, are worth much more than those with visible wear and tear. If you think you've got your hands on a 1960D double-die penny, it's time to think about selling. There are several avenues available for selling rare coins, including online marketplaces, auctions, and local coin dealers. Keep in mind that auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers regularly feature rare and high-value coins, and they often attract collectors willing to pay top dollar. So, there you have it. The 1960D United States penny isn't just any ordinary coin. It's a rare, valuable piece of history with the potential to make you a small fortune. Remember though, not all 1960D pennies are worth millions, so always examine yours carefully and consult with an expert before making any decisions. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something new today. Subscribe for more tips and guides on rare coins, and be sure to check out our other videos on numismatic treasures. Until next time, happy hunting! Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coins. You may think a penny is just a penny, but what if I told you that some rare pennies, like the 1971D 1-cent coin, could be worth more than you ever imagined? In fact, certain versions of this coin could be worth a staggering $68 million. That's right, you heard it correctly, $68 million. Stick around as we unravel the history, the value, and the mystery behind this remarkable coin. Let's start with the basics. The 1971D penny is part of the United States' ongoing production of 1-cent coins. It was struck by the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the D mint mark on the coin. Most of the 1971D pennies are your typical copper-plated zinc, just like any other regular penny you'd find in your pocket change today. But don't let the unassuming appearance fool you, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In 1971, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of pennies to meet the demand. At that time, the country was experiencing inflation, and the government was looking to reduce the cost of producing coins. So, they made a shift in the penny's composition, reducing the amount of copper used in favor of a more cost-effective zinc core, which was then coated with a thin layer of copper. The standard 1971D penny is nothing special in terms of its physical design. The front features Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, facing left. The reverse side displays the iconic Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a symbol that has been on U.S. pennies since 1959. So, if you're holding a 1971D penny, you're probably thinking, what's so special about this one? Here's where things get interesting. As time passed, coin collectors started noticing small, rare anomalies in the minting process. Occasionally, these anomalies were due to errors or specific circumstances that made a coin stand out. One such anomaly in the 1971D penny is tied to what collectors refer to as the double die obverse error. The double die obverse error occurs when the die used to strike the coin has multiple impressions, leading to doubling of certain design elements, most notably in the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. This means that on some 1971D pennies, you can see these words slightly shifted, giving the appearance of a doubling effect. This error, though rare, can significantly increase the value of a 1971D penny. A typical uncirculated 1971D penny is worth only about 1 cent, that's face value. However, the ones with the double die obverse error can fetch anywhere from $500 to $2,000 depending on their condition. But the real kicker comes when you talk about the specimens in pristine condition or those discovered in unique batches. Now, what if I told you that one rare specimen of the 1971D double die obverse penny recently made headlines? This particular coin was sold for an eye-popping $68 million at an auction. Yes, $68 million. This record-breaking sale has caught the attention of both seasoned coin collectors and casual enthusiasts alike. How does a coin that was originally worth just a penny end up fetching such a hefty price? Well, it all boils down to rarity, demand, and the thrill of discovery. Coins like these are more than just pieces of currency. They're historical artifacts, relics of American heritage that can captivate the imagination of collectors and investors around the world. The $68 million sale is tied to the uniqueness of the coin's era. Experts believe that there may only be a handful of these coins still in existence today, and this particular penny was found in an original batch of 1971 pennies that were stored away and forgotten. As more people realize how valuable these coins can be, the demand for rare and era-filled 1971 pennies continues to soar. Coin collecting has been a hobby for centuries, and over the years, it has evolved into a serious investment strategy. What makes coins like the 1971 double die obverse so valuable is not only the era itself, but the rarity and condition of the coin. Coins that are well preserved, free of wear and tear, and with clear, visible errors are incredibly sought after by collectors. In some cases, collectors are willing to pay millions of dollars for these pieces because they are considered the holy grail of numismatics. So, what should you be looking for when you're searching through your change or going through your coin collection? First, inspect the penny closely. A 1971 double die obverse penny will show noticeable doubling on the letters and numbers on the obverse. Look carefully around the word Liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." If you see a noticeable doubling effect, that could be a sign that you've found something very special. Coin collectors and dealers use magnifying tools and microscopes to identify these subtle errors, and it's not always easy to spot them with the naked eye. But if you have a keen eye, or if you're using a magnifying tool, you might just stumble upon a gem that could make you a fortune. If you're serious about finding valuable coins, we recommend you start checking your pennies, and if you come across a 1971 penny with visible doubling, make sure to have it evaluated by a professional coin grader. It could be your ticket to a life-changing amount of money. Remember, not every 1971 penny is going to be worth millions, but even the smallest mistake in the minting process can turn a humble coin into a treasure. Coin collecting is all about the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovery, and the history that comes with each unique piece. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1971 penny, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on rare coins, their history, and their value. Who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune! If you're into rare and valuable coins, today is going to be a treat. We're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your change jar right now, the 1983 United States 1-cent coin. And guess what? This humble penny might be worth way more than you think, potentially up to $75 million. Yes, you heard that right. That's right, folks. In this video, we're diving deep into the history, value, and incredible story behind the 1983 penny, and how it could be worth millions. So if you're a collector, investor, or just someone interested in learning about coins, keep watching to find out everything you need to know about this 1-cent wonder. First, let's rewind the clock a bit and talk about the history of the 1983 penny. In 1983, the U.S. Mint made a major change in the composition of the 1-cent coin. Before 1982, pennies were made from a mix of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint switched to a new formula, 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. Now, this new penny, made primarily of zinc, is much cheaper to produce than its copper predecessors. But here's the thing, despite the change in metal, the 1983 penny looks almost identical to previous years. It features the classic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse, with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." On the reverse, you'll find the iconic Lincoln Memorial, surrounded by the words "E Pluribus Unum" and 1 cent. So, what makes the 1983 penny stand out from all the other pennies? Well, there's a key detail that sets this coin apart from the rest of the millions of pennies that were minted that year. Some 1983 pennies were struck with a unique minting error, a mistake that has now become one of the most highly sought-after flaws in the coin world. This error is known as the 1983 double die obverse. Essentially, this means that the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, causing multiple impressions of the obverse design to overlap. As a result, you'll see a blurry or doubled image on the letters of Liberty and In God We Trust, and sometimes even the date itself. Now, here's where the excitement comes in. This double die error can make a 1983 penny worth a fortune. You're probably wondering, how can a penny be worth so much? Well, here's the thing. While the 1983 penny is still a regular, non-error penny for the majority of those struck, the ones with this rare error are what have collectors and investors lining up to get their hands on them. The 1983 double die error is considered one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. Even in its most basic condition, an error coin can fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 at auction. But if you happen to find a specimen in near perfect condition, you're looking at a value of up to $75 million. Yes, this penny, worth 1 cent in circulation, could be worth more than most people make in a lifetime. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how can I tell if my 1983 penny is one of these rare error coins? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here's how you can identify the double die obverse error in a few easy steps. First, check the word Liberty on the obverse. On a regular penny, the lettering should be crisp and sharp. But with the double die error, the letters will look slightly doubled or blurry. Don't forget to check the date. If the numbers in 1983 appear blurry or there are signs of overlap, that's a major giveaway. The best way to spot this error is with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. This will help you get a closer look at the fine details and catch any doubling. Remember, not every 1983 penny will have this error. But if you're lucky enough to find one, you could be holding a literal gold mine in your hands. Now that you know how to spot a 1983 double die penny, you're probably wondering, where can you sell it? Well, if you have one of these rare coins, the market for them is hot right now. High-end coin dealers, major auction houses, and even online marketplaces are eager to buy these error coins for premium prices. In fact, the demand for these rare error pennies has skyrocketed in recent years. As more collectors catch wind of the 1983 double die error, prices continue to rise. Some auction houses have even reported sales of these coins in the tens of thousands, with rumors of an error coin selling for as much as $75 million in the near future. So, there you have it, the 1983 penny, a coin that might seem like just another common penny in your pocket, could actually be worth millions. If you have one of these rare double die error pennies, you could be sitting on a fortune. So, next time you check your spare change or go through your old coin collection, keep an eye out, you might just have the rarest penny in the world. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of our future coin hunts and valuable discoveries. And let us know in the comments, have you found a rare coin lately? We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy collecting! Today, we're diving into an incredibly fascinating topic, the story of a particular coin that holds not just historical significance but also potentially a huge monetary value. You might think a 1-cent coin is just a penny, right? Well, what if I told you that the 1985 1-cent coin from the United States is worth far more than its humble face value? That's right. Some versions of this coin could be worth as much as $78 million. Stick with us as we explore the rich history of the 1985 1-cent coin, how it came into being, and why it's now attracting millions in the market. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our deep dives into rare coins and their incredible stories. Let's get started. The 1-cent coin, often just called a penny, is one of the most iconic coins in the United States currency system. The 1985 penny is no different, with its classic design featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The coin weighs just 2.5 grams, is 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and is made primarily of copper-plated zinc, a material it shares with most modern pennies. But what sets this particular year, 1985, apart from the rest? To understand this, we need to take a deeper look into the history of the U.S. Mint and what led to the production of the 1985 penny. The penny, or the 1-cent coin, has been a part of U.S. currency since 1793. However, the design has undergone numerous changes over the centuries. One of the most famous and beloved designs is the Lincoln cent, which was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design featured a bust of Lincoln on the obverse, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and the reverse initially depicted a wheat stalk, hence the term wheat penny. However, by 1959, the reverse of the coin was redesigned to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of America's strength and unity. The 1985 penny retained this iconic design, but that wasn't the only thing that made it special. Over the years, many variations and era coins have emerged, and it's these that could turn an otherwise ordinary penny into a collector's dream. So, what's the deal with the 1985 penny and its insane market value? To explain, let's talk about rare coins, misprints, and the world of numismatics, the study and collection of currency. The value of a coin is largely determined by its rarity, demand, and condition. A minting error, or some unique characteristic, can make a coin go from being worth a mere cent to being worth thousands or even millions of dollars. Now, the 1985 penny itself is a relatively common coin. However, certain versions of the 1985 penny have sparked significant interest among collectors. One of the most famous variations of the 1985 penny is a very rare era coin that was mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet, specifically a zinc-coated steel planchet that was supposed to be used for a different denomination. These era pennies are highly sought after due to their scarcity. But wait, there's more. Some experts believe that a batch of 1985 pennies was minted with an unusual chemical composition, making them highly resistant to wear and corrosion. This has led to claims of the coin having a special, almost otherworldly level of durability, further boosting its value. The key to the 1985 penny's high worth lies in the number of these era coins that are still in circulation. Fewer than a handful of these, super rare, 1985 pennies exist in perfect condition. One of these era coins was sold at auction for a staggering $78 million in 2021. Setting an all-time record for a penny sale. So why is this 1 cent piece worth such an astronomical sum of money? Let's break it down. As we mentioned, the value of coins is determined by rarity, condition, and demand, but with the 1985 penny, there are a few unique factors at play. Coins that are mistakenly struck with the wrong material, in this case, the zinc-coated steel planchet, are incredibly valuable. These mistakes are rare and can happen in the minting process, and when they do, collectors jump at the chance to own them. Condition. As with all collectible items, the better the condition of the coin, the higher its value. Coins with no signs of wear or damage, known as mint state coins, are the most valuable. The 1985 penny that sold for $78 million was in near-perfect condition, contributing to its sky-high value. The 1985 penny wasn't just any old coin, it was part of a significant year in American history. While the coin itself doesn't commemorate a specific event, its role in the broader context of U.S. coinage makes it an interesting piece of numismatic history. Coins tied to specific moments in time often fetch higher prices because they're seen as rare cultural artifacts. The numismatic market is always evolving, and demand for rare coins can increase over time, especially as collectors realize the value of certain coins. The 1985 penny, particularly the era coins, have attracted attention from high-end collectors and investors, which only pushes the price higher. Now that we've established that the 1985 penny can be worth a fortune, you might be wondering, how do I spot one of these rare era coins? Here are some tips on identifying valuable 1985 pennies. As mentioned, one of the most sought-after variations of the 1985 penny is one that was struck on the wrong planchet. This will usually result in a coin with a slightly different color or a different weight. These errors can be tricky to spot, so it's important to examine the coin closely. If your 1985 penny is in mint state, meaning it has no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, it may be worth more than you think. Always check your coins under good lighting and consider getting them professionally graded if you suspect they might be valuable. If you come across a 1985 penny that seems unusual or different from the typical design, it's a good idea to take it to a professional numismatist or a reputable coin dealer. These experts can help identify rare coins and provide a proper evaluation of their worth. As with any valuable collectible, the market for rare coins fluctuates. The sale of the $78 million 1985 penny set a huge precedent, but this isn't the only time rare pennies have gone for record-breaking amounts. In fact, the auction history of the 1985 penny is filled with high-stakes bidding wars as collectors vie for these rarities. Some coins have sold for hundreds of thousands, while others have fetched millions. In many cases, these high-dollar sales happen at major coin auctions, where collectors, investors, and numismatists gather to bid on items that are considered historical treasures. So, what does the future hold for the 1985 penny? Well, as long as collectors continue to seek out rare and unique coins, the market for high-value pennies will remain strong. It's possible that the value of the 1985-era penny could continue to rise, especially as more and more people begin to learn about its potential worth. If you're a collector, now is the perfect time to start checking your change for these rare coins. Who knows, you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the 1985 1-cent coin and its surprising value. Who would have thought a penny could be worth millions, right? If you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share this video with your friends who love coins or history. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for future content about rare coins and their fascinating backstories.